with Henry asked who his passengers were. He said he was driving them to a near...
Hey, this nigga look like somebody straight out of Boondocks, bro. Like, he look like he could be related to Granddaddy.
Hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just heard 3 or 4 gunshots, and now there's a bunch of cars that are backed up. Just like everybody out here, because I was 100% gunshots.
All right, I'll get him over there.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Moments later, the police department received more 911 calls, this time reporting that someone had collapsed next to their vehicle and was blocking the road.
Shit.
There is a car standing in the middle of the road. There is a guy standing on the floor. Hi, yes, I'm calling. There's a guy in the middle of the road, and he's laying on the ground. He's just laying there, having a heart attack or something. And he has a little kid in the car.
Oh, shit.
She was crying.
Officers rushed to the scene on sanctuary.
Bro, that's the last shit you want to see as a fucking kid, is your parent laid out, just on their last breath, nigga, heavy bleeding and shit. God damn, boy, that kid is traumatized now.
Boulevard, where they found a black Volkswagen Atlas blocking traffic. On the ground beside it, 33-year-old Jared Breidekin was lying unresponsive, covered in blood. He was surrounded by multiple shell casings and had 2 gunshot wounds to his torso. It was clear that Jared had already succumbed to his injuries. The officers noted that Jared was unarmed and none of his personal items were stolen, including his wristwatch, phone, money, and wallet. To the first responders, this didn't seem like a robbery gone wrong. It was more likely a targeted attack. The SUV was struck by 2 bullets as well, just feet away from where Jared's 2-year-old daughter Bexley was found strapped into the back seat. In front of the SUV, there was a damaged tire in the middle of the road. The tire belonged to a 2004 Ford F-150. Unfortunately, none of the bystanders witnessed the attack or spotted a suspect fleeing the scene. So, the detectives who were assigned to the case hunted down surveillance cameras in the area and were able to piece together a brief timeline of the crime. At 7:50 p.m., Jared was seen driving behind a dark blue Ford F-150, which matched the tire at the crime scene. Therefore, the detectives...
Bro, the way these niggas be breaking this shit down and just diving into the little fucking details they can get their hands on and then solve the whole fucking shit, bro, is truly fascinating. You know what I'm saying? The skills that these niggas have, these detectives and shit.
Believed that whoever was in this truck intentionally placed the tire on the road to block Jared's path. At 7:52 p.m., Jared stopped his vehicle to move the tire, and moments later, 4 gunshots rang out. To the detective's surprise, the shooter didn't hop back in the truck and drive off. Instead, he fled the scene on foot. His accomplice had left him behind. Unfortunately, the surveillance cameras could only track the vehicle so far, and the investigators were unable to get a positive ID on the shooter. But they weren't at a dead end quite yet, looked like. They distributed this information to several media outlets and urged the public to be on the lookout. Meanwhile, investigators began interviewing Jared's inner circle, which included his ex-wife, Shanna Gardner. Jared and Shanna shared custody of their twins named Abby and Liam. They alternated custody every week, and on Wednesdays, the parent who didn't have custody that week would have a visitation with the twins for a little over an hour.
And this is the scary shit about fucking creating life for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If the possibility that like y'all's love romance life ever got down this bad that y'all got to do this shit to gain custody of y'all's kid, bro, that shit is buns, nigga. That shit sucks. That shit sucks, bro. Having to rotate and shit. God damn, boy. Fuck.
Night of the murder was on a Wednesday, and it was Jared's turn for a visitation. He had just dropped the twins off at Shanna's and was on his way home when the shooting...
I'm already having a feeling she did this shit to get full custody of her kids. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Occurred. The detectives wondered if Shanna could provide more insight into the moments leading up to Jared's death. So they went to her house and were met by her and her husband, Mario Fernandez. Shanna said that the only contact she had with Jared that night was when he arrived at her house to pick up the twins and texted her that he was there. As for Mario, he said that he had taken some medicine and was passed out on the couch. However, while interviewing Liam, he had a different recollection of Mario's whereabouts that night.
Was Mario home when you got home?
Yeah, he plays video games. He was playing his video games at his desk.
Did you actually see him playing his video games, or you think that's what he's doing?
I mean, he had his headphones, he had the controller, and then I heard, fire, because we play Call of Duty. It's a shooting game.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure he was. I heard the thing. He had his gaming headphones. He had the controller. So I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
And I think I looked over one time.
Liam could only say that he thinks he looked into the gaming room and was pretty sure Mario was there, so he clearly wasn't certain. However, both Liam and Abby agreed that they didn't see Mario on the couch that night. The police weren't sure what to believe at this point, but they found Mario's alibi suspicious, so they kept him on their radar while they continued their investigation, gathering as much information as possible. Several months went by without any significant leads. During this time, Shanna hired a criminal attorney and a PR team, then went radio silent. The only insight into her life came from her mom, Shelley Gardner, who ran a blog named So Shelley. According to one of her posts, Shanna wasn't invited to Jared's funeral, so they held their own celebration of life for Jared. In one of the photos from the event, Shanna and Mario are shown beaming for the camera. Soon after this celebration, Shanna and Mario took the twins on vacation to an all-inclusive resort. Due to Shanna's ugly history with Jared and her chipper attitude following his death, rumors were beginning to spread that she was somehow involved in his murder. On June 28, 2022,
Bro, a lot of these marriages be so fucking fake, bro. These niggas be looking like they be fucking happy, but low-key be despising the fuck out their partner. Why just fucking leave, bro. Just leave, nigga. I don't understand the whole point of doing that bullshit.
one of Shanna's co-workers and closest friends, named Elizabeth Smith, reached out to the authorities with information related to Jared's death. A meeting was arranged with Christina Stifler of the state attorney's office so that Elizabeth could give a sworn statement. She started by recounting something odd that Shanna said to her at work one day.
You were talking about something that Shanna told you while you all were working at the school, that she was complaining about her and Jared's kind of custody battle, and she told you that, you know, Mario has a military background. He said he could get 4 people and break into his house in the middle of the night and, quote, take care of him, and no one would ever know. Is that right?
Yes.
And Shanna said Mario said that in reference to Jared.
Yes.
What was her demeanor kind of when she was telling you this?
Very casual. There was nothing concerning from her. I mean, she kind of laughed it off.
Elizabeth also had a strange interaction with Mario at a dinner around the same time.
You and Mario were kind of having like a contentious discussion at this dinner. He was challenging you about your faith, and you weren't backing down.
Yes.
Okay. And you said at some point he kind of looked at you and you called it a stare down. Mm-hmm. And
yes.
What did he say?
He said, you know, I'm in the military, killed people before.
And you said that Shanna could tell you were uncomfortable, and after this dinner she sort of called, apologized.
Yes.
Elizabeth then told the detectives about the beginning of Shanna and Mario's relationship. Apparently, they had only dated for about 4 weeks before tying the knot. But according to Elizabeth, this wasn't a case of love at first sight. In fact, Mario didn't even want anyone to know about the marriage.
And their relationship, when they got married, you said that Mario kind of wanted to keep it secret, and Shanna sort of told you that the marriage, it would be better for her custody battle for her to be married.
Yes.
And that you knew that she got more money from her family if she was married because, you know, they're very devout Mormons.
Yes.
Okay.
Shanna's parents were multi-millionaires.
She was trying to run up a bag. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks to Shelley's extremely successful craft company, Stampin' Up. A large portion of Shanna's income came from her parents, and they gave her even more money as a married woman than if she was single. Their marriage appeared to be more of a transactional relationship than a testament to their love, and the several times Mario flagrantly cheated on her only supported this.
She had found out and wanted him taking photos of a woman that he flew in from California who had aspirations to become a, and he decided to manage her.
Okay. She also had come into the home and seen that he was getting from girls that he had over to the house. Okay.
It was clear that Shanna and Mario's
Shit.
relationship was full of red flags.
Yeah, nah, that shit was fucking toxic. God damn, boy.
So, the detectives looked further into Mario's background and discovered that he had a history of violent aggression. Mario used to be a drill instructor in the army, but things went south when he was charged with assaulting one of his recruits. The charge was ultimately dropped, but this incident resulted in an other than honorable discharge in 2018. Then, when Mario and Shanna moved in together later that year, he used a BB gun to fatally shoot a stray cat named Apollo, an adored member of the community. When police asked him about the incident, he admitted to shooting the cat because it kept making his dog bark. He was never prosecuted for this incident because the police were unsuccessful in following up with him. Mario's short temper and pattern of violence made the detectives wonder if he had snapped and killed Jared in a fit of rage. While the detectives took a closer look into his records, Shanna suddenly participated in a news interview, finally breaking her silence.
I was asked to not talk to the media or give a public statement, but with the level of speculation, I felt that now it was necessary to speak out.
The reporter didn't shy away from asking the tough questions. She started by asking Shanna about her divorce with Jared.
Anytime divorce comes into any situation, it's messy.
Although she claimed there was a normal amount of hostility during the divorce, court documents showed that it was a lot worse than Shanna was chalking it up to be. The reason Shanna filed for divorce in the first place was because she was caught cheating on Jared with her personal trainer. An intense custody battle ensued, and for over 5 years, vicious accusations were thrown back and forth. Although they were eventually able to reach the custody agreement we mentioned earlier, animosity between the two couples lingered. Regardless, Shanna was ready to let go of her shaky past with Jared. She even said that sharing custody with him was a blessing.
I remember my son tucking him in and him saying that it was a good night.
She told the reporter that she was shattered when she learned that Jared was dead.
I fell to the floor because I was devastated.
Man, cut the bullshit. You told them niggas to do it to his ass. What the fuck? Oh my God, bro. People can be so fucking fake. It's crazy. Like, and I'm just like, her acting skills are like phenomenal. Like, you could just like, God damn, you almost want to sympathize with Shorty. What the fuck?
Even though we didn't always get along, he was still the father of my kids.
Did you have anything to do with Jared's murder?
No, I did not have anything.
Cap. I know your heart beating fast as fuck right now, nigga. Ah, shit, man. Look at her. Look at her pupils. Look at the way they dilated. You can see them.
To do with his murder.
Do you have any idea who might have done this?
I do not have any idea. All I know is that I would never want anybody to go through this.
As this interview was taking place, the detectives were looking through Mario's records, and they discovered that he owned a rental property in West Jacksonville on Potomac Avenue. The detectives headed over to speak with the tenant who lived there, a man named Jeremy Ordway. Jeremy told the detectives that he moved into Mario's property right after Jared's death back in February. The previous tenant was his friend named Henry. And speak of the devil, in the middle of Jeremy's interview, a white Ford Crown Victoria backed into the driveway. It was 61-year-old Henry Tenon, the previous tenant that Jeremy was talking about. After wrapping up Jeremy's interview, the detectives immediately moved on to interviewing Henry.
So I just wanted to get a little bit of background on what you know about Mario.
Shoot, other than you own this place?
How long have you known him?
Ooh, probably about
4 years?
3.5 maybe.
So you've been renting here that long?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I got you. Did you ever see him get, I don't know, violent or aggressive or anything like that?
No.
No?
He was always a rush guy. He come in, get his money.
Yeah.
Don't.
Once his interview was over, Henry quickly grabbed some things from the house and drove off in his Crown Vic. Then, one of the detectives noticed a tire leaning against the garage. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was the exact same tire and rim as the one at the crime scene. Jeremy told the officers that it randomly appeared at his curb a while back. He didn't know what to do with it since he didn't own a truck, and Henry's truck was towed somewhere months ago when his engine blew up. They asked what kind of truck Henry had, and Jeremy said it was a blue Ford F-150. They showed him a picture of the truck from the surveillance footage, and Jeremy said, yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, he wasn't sure where the truck was towed to, so the detectives had to think of a new game plan. Looking into Henry's criminal history, they learned that he had an extensive record littered with driving offenses. So they devised a plan to arrest Henry for being a habitual traffic offender. That way, they could question him about the truck and hopefully get him to confess to Jared's murder. On August 18th, 2022, Henry was pulled over in his white Crown Vic. His dog, as well as 2 random people, were in the car with him.
Find out if they got any warrants. You'll find out soon then.
While speaking to Henry, one of the officers noticed,
Yo, that nigga out of pocket, bro. He said you'll find out soon now.
Some marijuana in the door of the car, which gave them a good excuse to search the rest of the vehicle for anything related to Jared's death. The officer standing by with Henry asked who his passengers were. He said he was driving them to a near...
Hey, this nigga look like somebody straight out of Boondocks, bro. Like, he look like he could be related to Granddaddy.
...by methadone clinic,
shit.
a good deed that he does every day.
How long you been taking them to the methadone clinic? 8 years. Oh, dang.
Every minute counts when severe weather is on the way. Don't just watch the radar. Take control of your forecast. With our live weather
Nothing significant was found in the search of Henry's car, so the officers stuck to the plan and arrested him for his traffic violations.
Do me a favor, sir. Give the dog to my partner real quick.
Hold on.
Bring it back for me. I'm gonna put these on you. These are a lot more comfortable.
They put him in the back of a police cruiser and transported him to the state attorney's office to be interviewed by the detectives. Now that Henry was en route for questioning, the officer spoke to his passengers to see what they knew about him.
He's a good man. He really is. He's a good man.
This isn't his car, right?
No. No, it is his car.
But it, okay, so
It's his name.
it's not in his name.
Right.
What did he drive before that?
Bicycle.
He didn't have another vehicle?
Oh, gosh. No, bicycle. We've been driving bicycles.
So he said he's been transporting or taking you to the methadone clinic for like 8 years.
Yes, he's been taking me.
So what's he been taking you in? Because I got...
Yeah.
These strange answers were only adding to the confusion. How did they not remember any other vehicles Henry had driven them in? The officers wondered if they were covering for Henry, so they asked them to come down to the state attorney's office to be formally interviewed as well. But after a thorough questioning,
This is exactly why you mind your fucking business, nigga. Don't get yourself involved in some bullshit. That shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Now you about to waste your time, your precious time, speaking on some shit that ain't had nothing to do with you.
It's clear that they were pretty clueless about Henry's involvement in Jared's murder, so they were free to go. Henry's interview, on the other hand, wasn't so easy.
Like I said, Henry, I'm Detective Cullen. This is my partner, Detective John. How you doing, man? You doing all right? So far.
The detectives told Henry that they were part of a new department they called HOT.
You asked what HOT stood for?
Hey, lock his ass up, bro. That nigga did that shit. Lock his ass up, boy. Swear to God. He's guilty until proven innocent. Keep his ass in there, boy.
Habitual Offender Traffic Task Force. So we work with habitual drivers. Okay? Okay. So tell me about the Crown Vic. How long you been driving?
Since what, March, February
of this year?
Of this year.
Okay. So you had the Crown Vic since March. What were you driving prior to that? And I know the answer to this too.
My bicycle.
No, you're in a different vehicle. You're on these real-time cameras, and I have pictures of all this too, and I'll show you. So you drove a different car before that. It's not a trick question. I mean, you've been doing really well.
Now understand this, boy. I say this shit before and I say it again. When these folks come to you with these facts, you know what I'm saying? Don't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know that you know that they know. You know what I'm saying? So lock in and tell them boys that You better turn to 6'9", nigga. You better give that shit in pure exact details, nigga. They on your ass, boy. Swear to God.
Up until this point.
Henry doesn't realize that Jeremy had already confirmed that the truck in the surveillance video was his. After being called out, Henry immediately tried to backtrack by acting like he somehow forgot about his truck.
Now I'm starting to get concerned why you wouldn't want to talk about this other car you drove. Is there
The only piece of, oh shoot, that aggravating ass truck I had.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. What kind of truck was it? What model?
It was a Ford F-150.
Okay.
Larry.
What year was it?
2004.
Okay, so that's one of the older engines.
The detectives then revealed that they had tracked his movements over the past 8 months using surveillance cameras around Jacksonville. He took this same route to and from work every day.
So that's what it is. So we have...
You're not getting away, boy. There's too many cameras everywhere in the city nowadays. Like, you're not getting away with doing some diabolical shit. You're just not.
Dozens of incidents with you driving the truck. All these images we have and shots of you driving and going places, a lot of them are repeat places. It's getting you in going the same places all the time because you're a creature of habit. You kind of stay in your spot, right? Yeah.
But on February 16th, he suddenly decided to go to Jacksonville Beach right around the time of the murder.
You don't go to this place a bunch of times. This is the only time we ever capture you going to that place, that the cameras capture you going to these places.
It was clear where this interrogation was headed, but Henry continued playing dumb. So they dropped the guise of a traffic task force and got straight to the point.
All right, Henry. So here's what's up. Today's the most important day of your life. All right, I'm gonna shoot you straight. You got tough decisions to make, but there's really only one right answer. So we've told you a lot, but we haven't told you everything. It's way bigger than some traffic charges.
Yeah, I don't figure that much out already. I just don't know what.
Okay, well, this is a choice you get to make. You're at what they call a crossroads in your life, okay? One can lead to Henry still being Henry out, living a life potentially one day, because we know what Henry's all about. He's not somebody that's going around doing violent things, doing vicious things to people, but somehow Henry...
Bro, look at the way that nigga's sitting, bro. That is a dangerous motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That zesty ass Lear Cross he got going on is zesty, but it's not zesty. That's a bad motherfucker you're dealing with right there. I promise you.
Got caught up in something, and now it's spiraling out of control because these other people involved, because this is your vehicle involved that you're in, are going to point the finger at you, and they've already started to do that because no one wants to go to prison for the rest of their life.
Unfortunately, this straightforward approach wasn't working either. Henry told them that he just so happened to be at a restaurant in Jacksonville Beach on the night of the shooting, suggesting that someone else might have been driving his truck. But when they asked him who it could have been, he couldn't give a clear answer.
Henry, listen to me. I know this is a lot to take in. I need you to tell us everything you can about what happened that night, and I need you to be honest. That's what we get to control, Henry. What's next? How am I remembered? How do I want to go out of this world? A man of character, a man who did what's right, or just some chump?
No matter how much that it pleaded with Henry, he continued to change his story and tell more lies. The detective then asked him why he was scared to tell the truth, and Henry said his main concern is always about the safety of his kids. When Henry was asked what he meant by that, he wouldn't elaborate further.
Ain't nothing else I can give you. I don't think I need an attorney.
On God you do, nigga. You need the best of the best. Cooked.
Since Henry invoked his right to an attorney, the detectives could no longer speak with him. Without a confession, they weren't quite ready to arrest Henry, so they transported him to his house and continued looking for more evidence. 2 months later, on October 14th, 2022, a random caller contacted the police saying they spotted a truck in someone's backyard that looked just like the suspect's vehicle. The police confirmed that it was in fact Henry's vehicle and spoke to the owner of the property. one of Henry's friends. However, it was ultimately determined that this friend had no ties or knowledge of Jared's murder, and the truck had no additional evidence inside it that could help prosecute Henry. They then looked into Mario and Henry's phone records and learned that the two had called each other 35 times in February and 30 more times in March. They then dug through Henry's financial records to see if there was some sort of payment for killing Jared, and it wasn't long before they found something. Henry deposited a handwritten check for $5,000 about a month after Jared's death.
That's it? Damn, bro. Nigga threw his whole life away for 5 bands? Damn. I mean, I know there's niggas out there who would do it for less, but that's shit. It's crazy though. Like, you threw your whole life away for $5,000, nigga? What the fuck? That ain't shit.
The check was from a company called First Choice Home Rentals, which was owned by none other than Mario Fernandez. Apparently, this money was meant to help Henry kickstart his own pallet recycling company. But the detectives found this unlikely, since there was no evidence of Henry investing in this business plan. Following the paper trail, the detectives learned that Mario directly funded First Choice Home Rentals using the money from Shanna's trust fund, which her parents would often make hefty contributions to. Something important to note is that Mario was the trustee of this fund, which meant that he had complete control over the money. This was done in order to prevent Jared from reaching into Shanna's pockets during their legal battles. We know this because there's a stipulation in the trust fund paperwork that says, "When our daughter, Shanna, shall have no further legal entanglements with her ex-husband, Jared G. Bridegan, she may elect to serve as the trustee." In other words, Shanna would have full access to her trust money once Jared was out of the picture. This was a crystal clear financial incentive for Shanna to have Jared killed. The detectives now wondered if Henry, Mario, and Shanna conspired to murder Jared together. They scoured through Shanna's phone records for any more clues, and they found damning texts between her and her close friend named Kim Jensen. In a conversation from 2015, Shanna said that she would be
Oh, I sure you look like she melting like ice cream, bro. What the fuck?
happy to see Jared get lethally injected. In another exchange from the same month, Kim said, "I could see you and Stupid taking a road trip next year." Shanna responded with, "Maybe a road trip that he disappears from. Lol." Shanna then said that she wished Jared would lay a hand on her so that someone named Matt would make him disappear. Kim replied saying, "We'll be dancing in the streets when he's gone." Interestingly, she said when he's gone, as if she knew he would be disappearing soon enough. Shanna then said, "Oh, I am hoping so badly for a casserole party." This was an inside joke they frequently made, implying they would make a popular Utah casserole dish known as funeral potatoes when Jared died. While these messages could be interpreted,
it's a wicked world, boy. It's a wicked, fucked up world. God damn, boy. It's crazy what people are truly capable of. Like, that shit is crazy as fuck.
Interpreted as innocent dark humor. There were many more messages that were harder to justify. In another exchange from 2016, Shanna asked Kim if it was too late for a hitman to take Jared out, following up with, "I'm serious, I want him gone." Kim responded with, "I know Sue's husband knows people, lol." Kim's phone records were eventually obtained as well, and they revealed that right after this exchange, she contacted her friend Sue looking for a guy who does a permanent disappearing act. These incriminating text messages came to a halt right around the time Shanna started dating Mario. All of the pieces were finally falling into place. It seemed that Shanna was the orchestrator, Mario was the middleman, and Henry was the shooter. On January 25th, 2023, Henry was the first to be arrested.
For almost a year, we have investigated this case, seeking the many questions surrounding Jared's murder, and most importantly, to answer the question, who killed Jared? Just under an hour ago, this man, Henry Tenon, was arrested for the following crimes: conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder with a weapon, accessory after the fact to a capital felony, and child abuse.
Although he initially pled not guilty, about 2 months later, on March 16th, 2023, Henry signed a plea deal. In exchange for pleading guilty to second-degree murder and testifying against any co-defendants in the case, his 3 other charges would be dropped, and he would receive a lesser sentence. He gave a sworn testimony saying that Mario agreed to give him $150,000 to be the trigger man in the murder. Apparently, the $5,000 check to kickstart Henry's Pallet Company was the first of several payments tied to the murder. Following this confession, the authorities wasted no time. Just hours later, Mario was tracked down and arrested in a gas station parking lot in Orange County. He was extremely calm and didn't seem fazed by his sudden arrest at all. He was placed in the back of a police cruiser and eventually extradited back to Duval County to face his charges.
In addition to the first-degree murder charge, the grand jury also has indicted Fernandez Saldana for conspiracy to commit first.
This shit is crazy though, and these motherfuckers are just walking free out there. You know what I'm saying? Walking free. You're not knowing what these people are capable of. You don't know who's who. You know what I'm saying? Whole time you talking to this motherfucker thinking he a regular individual. You don't know all the shit he doing. And who knows? This is probably not bro's first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? And that's a crazy thought when you think about it, because what if he got other victims? Because a nigga who's doing that for the first time, he's not gonna be that bold. He's gonna be scared as shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of adrenaline pounding, his heart racing. He's scared as fuck. Shit get wicked, boy.
First-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, as well as child abuse. First-degree murder, this is a capital felony punishable by death or mandatory life in prison.
As for Shanna, she had quietly uprooted her life and relocated to Washington State with the twins. She believed she had outrun the law, but her day of reckoning had finally arrived in August of 2023.
You can't beat it, bro. You can't, like...
Throughout...
Ain't nothing like patience, boy. She had to be patient, and it's like... I don't even know what to say, bro. You ain't had no patience. You didn't have to take it there. You didn't have to kill that man.
Her entire interaction with the police, she had a pouty face and puppy dog eyes. She was extradited back to Duval County as well, where she faced the same charges as Mario.
We promised at the outset of this investigation we would not relent until we uncovered the truth of Jared's murder. This morning, a Fourth Circuit grand jury indicted Shanna Gardner for first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and child abuse. We will be filing a notice of our intent to seek the death penalty, as we have also done in the case of Mario Fernandez.
Both Shanna and Mario pled not guilty and were denied bond due to the severity of their charges. Thanks to Shanna's wealthy parents, she was able to hire Jose Baez, a high-profile defense attorney mainly known for successfully securing an acquittal for his notorious client, Casey Anthony. Over the next year and a half, the prosecution and the defense for both Mario and Shanna navigated through motion hearings, determining what could and couldn't be used in the trial. In one of those hearings, Detective Chris Johns took the court through all of the incriminating text between Shanna and Kim. He also revealed that Kim had been interviewed several times by both him and State Attorney Christina Stifler. When they confronted her about the texts in these interviews, she quickly opened up and described even more incriminating statements from Shanna.
There were multiple conversations over a multi-year period about Mario killing or finding people who could kill Jared. Okay. There were times where he would watch his movements or, like I said, follow him and try to, develop patterns of what he did and where he went and what would be the best way to carry it.
This nigga not even focused on the on the meeting and shit. He thinking about two glazed donuts, a large cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Dunkin' Donuts to be exact. A large bagel with egg, sausage, cheese, and muffin. Hey, now let me stop bullshit, man.
She relieved that there were instances where he was so close that he could touch him, and Jared didn't know it.
Just to be clear, Ms. Jensen said that Shanna disclosed to her things that Shanna Gardner and Mario Fernandez spoke about.
Correct.
use any phrasing to describe these moments where he could have done something to Jared Bradigan.
Missed opportunities.
The defense, however, wanted any discussion of Kim's interviews to be disallowed because they were never even recorded, so there was no way to verify that she had said any of those things. According to Kim herself, she never said anything about Mario wanting to kill Jared. The state was twisting her words.
I told them that Mario had a very large personality. He was famous for shock value statements, and that he had this one particular line that he would say repeatedly, which is, "Do you want me to take care of it? Do you want me to take care of it?" I believe it was Miss Stifler who said, "You mean kill him?" But those were her words. Those were not my words. I never said kill him.
She also said that Detective Johns was knowingly using intimidation tactics.
Nah, nigga. That was not what them Texans would say, boy. You was insinuating that shit. You know what I'm saying? You was talking about some, oh, I know people. And I'm saying that knows people that could get this shit done. You was insinuating that shit. So you just as guilty, bitch. You should have mind your business. Should have never got yourself involved in that shit. And now you about to do time, boy. You about to be salty as fuck, nigga.
To make her say things she wouldn't usually say.
He came in the room, told me how important this was, that they knew things that I didn't know they knew, that I was in a lot of trouble, that I had to tell the truth.
Let me stop you there. Did you say he said you were in a lot of trouble?
Yes, that I could be in a lot of trouble from this. Gave me some statute about if you lie to a grand jury, you could go to jail for 30 years. He told me that he knew it was uncomfortable and that it was very intimidating, but that was his job because when you're uncomfortable, you say things that you wouldn't normally say, I think is how he put it.
The defense wanted all of Shanna's texts with Kim to be disallowed as well, because according to Kim, the hitman comments were clearly a joke.
The hitman joke was a joke between Susan and I years before I even knew Shanna.
What was their response after you explained this joke?
So you're telling me that the next time I see you, it's going to be with your attorney and you're going to explain to a jury that this is a joke.
The judge ultimately denied the defense's motions, so for now, everything was allowed as evidence. On January 13th, 2025, the judge scheduled a court hearing to check in with Henry because it had been a while since his last court hearing. It seemed that Henry was fed up for some reason, and he wanted to get...
This the same nigga, bro? Oh, what the fuck? That nigga look like one of them fucking parademons that Darkseid pulled up with in the fucking DC anime. What the fuck, nigga?
Get something off of his chest. According to the transcript, Henry said, "Your Honor, may I say something?" The judge tried to tell Henry to talk to his attorney before saying anything, but they ended up speaking over each other. Henry continued saying, "I just want to bring to your attention that my testimony, false testimony." Both the judge and his attorney essentially tell him to stop talking, but instead Henry says, "I need another attorney." The judge told him he should have a conversation with his attorney first before asking for a new one. Henry agreed and left the courtroom. The defense jumped on this and filed a motion to dismiss the case since Henry's testimony was a crucial factor in Mario and Shanna being arrested in the first place. Then, at a court hearing addressing the outburst, his attorney provided his own theory on why Henry might have suddenly backtracked on his testimony.
I told the state that I thought I suspected that there may be an inmate in the jail who was influencing Mr. Tennant, and that it could have been that a co-defendant had gotten to him. That's my suggestion.
Do you have information that's true?
No.
The judge decided to wait for Henry's next court hearing on April 15th, 2025 to give him the opportunity to explain himself. But when that time came, he hardly gave an explanation at all.
Is there any need to go any further about his representation? Are you satisfied with him?
No, it was just that we had a misunderstanding before. And so we kind of overcame that.
You have?
Yes.
And with that, Henry's strange outburst was swept under the rug. However, it seems like Henry isn't able to make up his mind, because on July 7th, 2025, the judge allowed him to get a new attorney, leaving the public to wonder if he is being influenced to change his story.
Yeah, nah, they pressing that boy. They on his ass behind them boys. You know what I'm saying? Somebody pressing that boy, because he going back and forth. He can't decide. One part of him wanna snitch on this nigga, but at the same time, he trying to protect him and shit.
As of today, Shanna and Mario are scheduled to have a joint trial starting August 3rd, 2026. All three alleged conspirators of Jared Bridegan's murder are currently being held at the John E. Goody pretrial detention facility in Jacksonville, Florida. In the meantime...
Oh, boy. Jacksonville, Florida. That's probably like the last place you want to be incarcerated, boy. Too many crazy ass niggas. It's gonna be, man, it's gonna be rumbles every fucking day, boy.
Jared's family and friends continue to struggle with their loss. It's clear that Jared's death has had a long-lasting impact on them, especially Bexley, who witnessed her father die.
Be safe, so I will protect Mama. Nobody can hurt you. I love you.
Aww. This shit is so fucking cute.
However, they're doing everything in their power to keep Jared's memory alive and are hopeful that in the end, justice will be served.
Yep, that wraps it up for the video, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.